My name is Asad Yaqub and I am your IELTS examiner. Let's start the test. Are you ready? Okay. Let's talk about your studies. Are you studying or do you have a job? I'm a student and I'm studying in a university at the moment. Where are you studying? I'm studying in a university. It's basically a university for pharmacy students because I'm doing my bachelor's in pharmacy. So I go to that university. It's a university of pharmacology. How many hours do you spend there in a week? Well, every day I have to spend 5 hours in my university and I go there 5 days a week. So there are around 25 to 30 hours which I spend in that very university. Tell me something about the place where you study. I study in a university. It's quite old university. It is situated in the downtown in the heart of the city and the building is quite old. I mean, it was built around 100 years ago and now there are the modern blocks as well, and this university has got a very good name in the country and it is quite popular among the people. What are your favorite subjects? My favorite subjects are medicine. I like medicine very much because that's the part of my degree, and there are different things I like about medicine, about the formulation of different medicine, about the salts. Whenever I'm studying about different salts, I like that. So in my degree about pharmacy, the subject of medicine I like the most. Or what is your job? At the moment I am working as a bank manager. How long have you been doing that job? I've been working in that bank for around 15 years, and when I started my job I was just a cashier, and over this time period I was promoted and I've got so many promotions over this time, and now I'm the manager of this bank. Which part of your job do you enjoy the most? I enjoy public dealing the most because when I deal with the people and they come to me with their problems, and I love solving their problems whenever they've got any issues, whenever they need any information and the other staff members they are unable to do that, then they come to me. So I solve their issues, I resolve their issues, I help them out, and I love this part of my job, and that is actually public dealing. I love being with the people, especially being with the clients who come to my bank. Tell me about the place where you work. I work in a bank. It's a beautiful bank. It's got 4 stories. The first story or the first floor is for public dealing. Then we've got certain offices. My office is on the 2nd floor, and all the building is very nice. It's very peaceful. It's a beautiful building, and the bank interior is also very nice, and there are around 50 people who work in this bank. So this place is centrally located. It is in the downtown as well, and we've got very nice parking in the basement. So I like this place. Now let's talk about your free time. Do you spend a lot of time with your friends? No, I don't think so, because I'm busy 5 days a week. I got only 2 days left and 1 day is for rest. So I've got only Sunday that is left for friends, and I prefer spending all my Sunday with my friends. I go with my friends in the morning to play cricket, then we go for lunch, at night we go for dinner. So I don't think that I'm spending a lot of time with my friends, but yes, once a week I spend full day with my friends. Do you go out much in the evening? No, during the weekdays I don't go out much in the evening because I get free from my work in the evening, so there is no question of going anywhere. But yes, at the weekend I go out in the evening because evening is the time to relax, evening is the time to enjoy, especially at the weekend when I've got a holiday. So on Saturday I prefer going out in the evening with my family, and on Sunday I prefer spending my time with my friends in the evening. So yes, I do. How much television do you watch? I don't watch television at all because I'm quite busy. Besides, I don't like watching TV. I've got a smart TV at home, but I hardly watch it. I've got my mobile, so on my mobile sometimes I can watch some musical programs, some movies or some songs, these type of things. But otherwise I don't watch TV regularly. I mean, I don't watch TV programs regularly. Do you do any sports? Yes, I do sports. I play cricket. I play cricket with my friends every Sunday morning. I play cricket for around 4-5 hours, and we've got different matches. I'm a very good bowler and a very good batsman as well. So I just play one game, and that is cricket. Now let's move on to part 2 of your IELTS speaking test. Here is the cue card, and here is pen and paper, and if you want to jot down some notes, you can do that. You have 1 minute for this, and after 1 minute you will have to speak on this topic for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay? You'll now have to speak on the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. Please start. Journey, I remember very well. That was my journey from Lahore. That's my hometown, from Lahore to Sakardu. Sakardu is in the north of Pakistan. So that's the memorable journey of my life. I traveled by car because I've got my own car, so I decided to take my family to Sakardu. We started our journey in our own car, and that car is quite nice. I mean, it was quite good. It traveled very well. It was quite strong because driving on the mountains, that was not easy. So I traveled all the way in my personal car. Well, I went to the north of Pakistan. I crossed 3 provinces of Pakistan. One is Punjab, second Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and third is Gilgit-Baltistan. And I had to travel for around 1,000 kilometers from my hometown to that very area. So I actually went to Sakardu, that is in Gilgit-Baltistan. Well, what happened? A lot of things happened during that. First, I enjoyed the journey. I did that journey in 2 parts. First, I traveled, then I stayed some nights with my friends. Then I continued my journey, and there I saw so many places. I saw mountains. I saw around 5 lakes, and I saw many beautiful places on the way as well. I saw the highest place in my country as well. So many things happened, and all the time I enjoyed driving. I enjoyed chatting with my family and all that. Well, the journey was memorable because of it was a challenge for me actually. So the journey was challenging, that's why it was memorable. It was the challenge for me because I had to drive for around 20 hours continuously. When I started my journey, so it was around 20 hours journey, and I had to drive. I was the only driver. I was with my kids and my wife, so nobody else knew how to drive, and it was only me who could drive. And I made many records during this journey as well. That's why it was memorable. I set a record of 20 hours non-stop driving. So that was quite good. So because of the challenge driving in the mountains, because of the challenge driving in zigzag roads and all that, that journey was memorable, and I really liked that journey, and that is the most memorable journey of my life. Now let's move on to IELTS speaking part 3. Do you think too many people are dependent on cars as a means of transport? Yes, I think, because car has become a common sight in my country. Everywhere you go, you will see the cars, and a lot of people depend on cars because now economically people are prosperous. Financially they are free, they are better than before, so they can easily afford a car. And car is quite convenient because of its convenience, because of its speed, and it can take you anywhere. It can protect you from the weather conditions, weather effects as well. That's why a lot of people depend on car, and they are using car as their family conveyance or family ride these days. Why do people prefer to travel by car? People prefer to travel by car because it's quick. So it can take you anywhere, wherever you want to go. Secondly, it is safe. As compared to motorbike or other conveyance, it is quite safe. So you can easily go, you can save yourself. And thirdly, if it is hot, you can turn on the AC. If it is cold, you can turn on the heater. So because of the convenience of the car, people prefer to use car to go anywhere. Is there a way of changing this attitude? Well, this attitude can be changed if we provide them good transport service, especially public transport service. If we provide people good public transport service, then definitely they will prefer to travel by public transport, and then they will not use cars. They will not use their personal cars. Sometimes there is only one person in the car. So if there are 50 people and 50 cars on the road, and instead of that, if there is only one public transport, that can easily accommodate 50 people. So we can change the attitude of people if we are going to provide them the nice alternative in the form of public transport, effective public transport, quick public transport. Then people will prefer to use the public transport, and they will stop using the cars. How could public transport systems be improved? Public transport system can be improved. The first thing is speed, because usually public transport is very slow. So if we increase the speed of public transport, but now it's getting better with metro and orange line train and all that stuff. On the other hand, the second thing is public transport should be sufficient for the people. Sometimes people have to stand up in the buses. There are big crowds, so they've got to wait to find a seat. So that is not convenient. That's why people don't prefer using public transport. And thirdly, public transport takes a lot of time. I mean, you got to wait for the bus to come. Sometimes you got to wait for 10, 15, 20 hours. So if you have to reach somewhere, you cannot depend on public transport in terms of reaching on time. So these are the problems. How can the amount of air travel be reduced throughout the world? Well, the amount of air travel can be reduced throughout the world if we impose heavy taxes on international travel. And secondly, we got to see, why do people travel? I mean, what's the purpose? So if we impose some sanctions, if we impose some sort of restrictions on air travel, then we can reduce the amount. But nowadays you can see people are traveling a lot as compared to the past. Some people travel for holidays and some people travel for business. So we need to see if this travel is urgent and important for the people, then they should be allowed. Otherwise, there should be some restrictions by the government. This is how we can reduce the air travels, and this is how we can reduce the number of aeroplane flights as well, and we can save our environment. How will people travel in the future, do you think? Well, in the future, people will travel using the same types of transport, but they will be very, very fast. For example, aeroplanes, in the future, aeroplanes will be very, very fast, and then there will be the flying cars. As in some countries, they are doing some experiment on that as well. So there will be flying cars, and I mean, the speed is going to be the most important thing in the future. Whatever, if it is a car or it's a bike or it's a bus or it's aeroplane, the speed will be the most important thing. And in the future, now the travel we are doing in hours, or the journey we cover in hours, that will be covered in minutes as well. That is the end of your IELTS speaking test. Thank you very much. May you have a fantastic day. Thank you very much. You too have a lovely day. Thanks a lot.